Why are Barcelona in debt and how can they solve it? Incredible situation. Barcelona, they're one of the biggest football clubs in the world, is $1 billion in debt, and yet we only go back to pre-COVID and they actually had a surplus of $1 billion. Imagine going from a surplus to a negative of $1 billion. What's happened? Well, what's happened is that since 2017, so it started earlier, the transfers haven't been great. In fact, the people that have been purchased haven't worked out, and often they purchase people that perhaps were beyond their prime and had no resale value. So imagine you're running a football club. If you buy somebody who's 25 years of age, they can be developing, and if they don't work out, you still got a resale value. If you buy somebody that's 28 years of age and it doesn't work out, you can be paying big wages. You're paying bigger wages than you would to a 25-year-old. Doesn't work out, 2 years later, they're a 30-year-old. The resale value has plummeted, their wages are high, and guess what? You've got losses. Right now, Barcelona are paying 103% of their total revenue in wages. In other words, every month they lose 3% just on wages, let alone their fixed cost. So how can they solve it? Well, players have said they'll take pay reductions. And of course, the players have ended up with wages that are too high. What's happened is that Messi has been able to negotiate, perhaps rightly, fantastic wages. So over the last 5 years, he's been paid 550 million. And of course, he was bringing in revenue to Barcelona. But the problem is that because he was being paid a large amount, his teammates demanded pay rises as well. They were given pay rises. So bad transfers, then paying people that weren't bringing in revenue because they didn't have the fame or the legendary status of perhaps someone like Messi that sells shirts and can achieve results. Of course, those players got overpaid because they weren't bringing in the revenue, not performing. And in fact, last year, Barcelona were third in the Spanish league. Of course, COVID has meant reduced and often no crowds. And of course, again, most of their revenue has come from the Nou Camp and their massive fan base. So how do they turn it around? Well, obviously, they need to reduce their costs. So as a businessman, what would you do? Well, first of all, you've got to appoint the right manager. Is the current manager the right person? I'd question it, particularly when they were third. Of course, you've had in the past someone like Pep, who, if he came back, then wow, the shirt sales would go through the roof. But bringing him back, of course, seems like an impossibility. But it needs to be someone that's got charisma, someone that is there that can perform, but also has the image. We live in a world where not only do you need the performance, but you need the image. Okay, amazing that the world has changed to that degree. But it has, and you see it when people and clubs are buying players. They're often buying players that they know are influencers. In other words, they're bringing fans with them. Does the current manager bring fans? Probably not. Is he producing results? Probably not. So guess what? You need to change it. Of course, you have a president that is elected by the fans, and he's elected based on what he promises. Of course, he promises, we'll buy this one, we'll do this one, we'll do this. He doesn't promise, and perhaps the next election, which is in March, April next year, then when that comes around, perhaps the next president will be promising to run the football club in a correct manner. Can it be turned around? Of course it can be turned around, but there's pain before they can get to a situation where they are a long-term sustainable football club. Got to go through the pain, and of course all of us in business know that. You got to sometimes cut back, you got to prune, you got to get to a situation whereby you take the pain, and then once you've cut back, you can grow stronger. And that is exactly what Barcelona need to do right now. What do you think? What's your comments? What do you think Barcelona need to do to get it right? Leave comments below. Hit subscribe. I'll put out information on a regular basis that's thought-provoking, and we'll talk about business and how you can make money. Okay, it's worth subscribing to my YouTube channel so you're up to date with everything in short, sharp videos with enthusiasm. Please hit like, please share the video, and please comment on what you think Barcelona should be doing.